There was this 12-minute video.
If you agree, raise your hand. Trump is following through on his promises.
Just been lackluster.
So as Gen Z men that voted for Trump and they're following up with him, okay? And I brought like half of them still support him, half of them have been less. And I thought it would be good because it's actual people. I have not watched this video.
Mixed bag. I'm not saying that he's a perfect man. Trust me, he's not.
In November, Trump took over a key block of voters, young men.
That guy's Gen Z, looks 30.
200 executive orders, multiple military actions, and a massive spending bill later.
It's going to make this country into a rocket ship.
How many people here think Trump is a perfect man? Because I feel like my audience is like 95% Trump voters. I feel like most people here are diehard MAGA. He has made no mistake. So I feel like we could all raise our hand. He hasn't had any flaws yet. People keep talking about it, but I haven't seen him make any mistakes. Even if you don't like his policies, you can agree that him as a man is perfect. Just in his personal life, just the way he conducts himself, you know? It's classy. It's like maybe I don't... There's just a certain class to it. Honestly, I don't agree with any of his positions, but I voted for him just because of his... He brings a certain kind of class to the job. A dignity to the role. I just want the White House to feel like a, I think Joe Biden was too cavalier. He goofed around too much. He was a little je ne sais quoi. Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be really great.
We checked in with 6 of these voters.
Hi, everybody. I'm excited to have this conversation.
To find out what they think of his job so far.
On day one, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history.
I'm going to say a statement, and you guys are going to raise your hand if you agree with the statement. President Trump's deportation plan is moving too slowly.
Too slowly?
Let's start with the people who agree.
Are these the same 3 people that said they were happy with him? Let me make sure.
This
is Jaden, Atticus, and Cooper. Let's just check. No, it's not. So interesting. So, okay, this is what I'm talking about. Some Gen Z that are turning away from Trump are doing it because he's not right enough. Atticus is like fucking Trump. Is not nearly deporting enough. That's super funny. Well, not funny, really. Kind of crazy.
Who agree.
Immigration is going to be like bam, bam, bam. But it's kind of like going a little slow and feel like we're getting just enough to be satisfied.
He hasn't even beaten Obama with deportations so far that I know of. He made an exception for agricultural workers. It's like, okay, well, that's kind of a big section of the population there.
I mean, I feel a little differently. I feel like the border is arguably the number one thing that he's held his promise on. He talked about the deportation numbers, and I get it. It didn't surpass Obama. But in terms of trying to solve the problem, trying to stop people from coming in that aren't coming here the right way or legally, right? So that on that hand, I think that he has been, fulfilling his promise.
There should be an easier process for immigrants to enter or work in the country legally.
Everybody agrees.
I understand that illegal immigration is what he campaigned on, but he did promise in a lot of his speeches that he would look into the issues of H-1B visas and green cards.
What I want to do and what I will do is you graduate from a college, I think you should get automatically as part of your diploma a green card.
That was something that really made me inclined towards Trump, and the lack of accountability and the lack of clear messaging regarding that topic is also making me frustrated on how I see that Trump isn't delivering on that promise.
My dad is Mexican, and I've got a lot of Mexican family. And he came over illegally, but then he self-deported. He's trying to get his green card to come back. And no one is...
I'm going to watch the game at a bar.
You're going to watch the game! Let's go Dodgers. We're a Dodgers family around here. All right? We support them. We cheer for them. Fucking love baseball, I'll be honest with you. You know what my favorite part about baseball is? When they...
Not watching it.
They hit the ball out of the park.
Yeah, the home runs are pretty fun.
That's what we call them. We call them home runs. All right, have fun. A home run, as we say in the baseball community.
He's working on that because it's going to be like a decades-long process, and we're like, what's the point?
He has taken some action. I know it's not a lot or stuff that.
Yeah, I mean, we have a horrendous fucking green card system. Horrendous. Years and years and years and decades of limbo. It's a gigantic pain in the ass. Our it's not they have to go hand in hand. I think a lot of people do want secure border, legal path to immigration, yada 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 yada. But you have to make it doable. you have to make a clear, defined, easy process people can go into. That's the win-win. Otherwise, it's a black market that exists because there's no option. Although you can buy a gold card for $5 million. I don't know why people don't do that. I don't know why more people that are coming into this country to work low labor farm jobs don't just buy the $5 million gold card. Are they poor or what's going on? I don't understand. That'd be embarrassing if they were poor.
Like to see. But the main issue and the main problem of what we were originally running on is that there was a flood of people who came in illegally, right? And the past administration just didn't really care about it. In order to have a civilized country, in order to have a country, we have to have borders, we have to have, law and order.
And we're going to end these endless wars, they never separate.
I am happy with the president's approach to foreign policy.
All right, I was saying one more thing about this. I made my point on this a million times, but so where's that graph? Because they tried to, they did fact check this guy. It's a true fact. But so like this is a real thing for concern. All right. Like this is post COVID, the rate of border crossings got astronomical because the world was shaken up during COVID and this happened. All right. There's something to be said about that. That is a different problem from grabbing people who have lived here for 20 years with an unmarked van and locking them with ICE. That's such a different thing. Lumping that all under the same immigration policy is such a fucking bait and switch. It's disgusting amalgamation of the two problems. Because you could agree that this is something that needs to be addressed by the government and not agree with how anything else is being handled. So that's how I feel about that. And I also want to say, we watched that video about Japan. I think even among these people in this video and among people online and in general, I still think that immigration is just overly talked about as the source of problems. I understand that it can cause social change in an area, especially if it's really aggressive. There's a lot of it in a short period of time. I get that. I am more moderate, I think, than a lot of people. I think its importance is still dramatically overstated. It's dramatically overstated. And I think that Japan video, I encourage people to watch it if you can. I love that video. The one by a Japan Analysis that we reacted to. I thought that video was just a perfect distillation of how it's never enough. It's never fucking enough. It doesn't matter how small the immigration number is. People will always turn to it as a way to explain problems. It's always. And so like, if people ever promise you that that's the reason, just have a second look, bro. Think about it more, because it's just proof. Like all these different countries, no matter how much or how little there is, it still gets used in the same way.
In order to have a civilized country, in order to have a country, we have to have borders, we have to have, law and order.
And we're going to end these endless wars, they never separate.
I am happy with the president's approach to foreign policy.
Damn.
He's been trying on the war in Ukraine.
Come on. Come on, bro. He's been trying? Bro said he'd end it day one. It never would have happened day one. Like it was the most number one promise. We did the math. It was the most promised thing was day one. And now it's like he's trying, That's wild to me.
Obviously he's got a big mouth. He says, it's going to be solved in the first week that I'm here.
I will settle the war in Ukraine before I even take office. I'll settle this president-elect.
And by the way, when you say he's trying, again, I know that everybody doesn't follow this stuff that closely, and I totally get it. We all have a million things going on in our lives. You're a fucking young guy trying to get a job, get shit figured out. I don't blame people. I honestly don't. But, his trying is like dramatic, wild swings of flip-flopping. Like he comes in, screams at Zelensky, tries to go on with Putin. Then Putin dog walks him at the Alaska summit, rambles about Russian history for 3 hours, makes no progress, no change, doesn't follow through anything. So Trump flip-flops completely, turns on Putin, says he's going to fucking join with Europe and sanction him. Then like a week ago, flips right back. Like it's like He's just scrambling from one side to another, trying to take whatever side will give him an end so that he can try to put it in his Nobel Peace Prize elect package. But there's no like coherent plan. There's no like coherent, like, I have a side that I'm sticking to for a larger strategic or moral reason, and we're going to do something. It's more like week to week, whoever he last talked to.
We all know it's not going to end in the first week of your presidency, not even in the first 7 to 8 months of your presidency, but he did end the war with Iran and Israel.
The statement that Trump solved the issue, I wouldn't agree on that. We did know that Israel was going to attack Iran. And the fact that we didn't do anything to stop them is something that I find quite hypocritical.
The U.S. did not need to strike Iran.
I was against it at first because I thought that bombing them would
Wait, who's on which side?
An all-out war. But I think what we did with that was sufficient enough, because I think Iran having nuclear bombs isn't good for anybody.
I don't think we should have bombed them. I feel like things could have been a bit more diplomatic in a sense. I know Iran doesn't really like America a whole ton, but to say that as soon as they get a nuke, they're going to blow us up. We have defenses, and that's also just like the worst case scenario ever. I just don't think that would be super plausible in a sense.
Jaden, they want us dead. I'm sorry.
So my question is, why do you think they want us dead? So I think it's very easy to make statements like this, but we don't understand the history of why Iran is acting antagonistic.
I have a great video on it. If you want to watch it, it's on the, where did I do that presentation? Was it Lemonade Stand? It's like in the first third of some Lemonade Stand. I really, it's worth watching. It goes through all the history. I think it's pretty good.
It's not about,
I'm pretty proud of it.
It's not necessarily about
Atrioc.
just understanding the history behind it. It's about what they openly say. You know what I'm saying? They chant down the streets. I mean, there's videos all over the place of death to America.
I just would have preferred if there was some sort of way to talk it out rather than absolutely curb stomping them, you know? Because I feel like if any of us were curb stomped, we'd be a little salty. And if you don't want an enemy that wants to nuke you to be salty.
Israel and U.S. relations have always been really strong. They've been one of our closest allies. We've always been one of their closest allies. And I feel like to not take action would have just been kind of leave them hanging rather than, you know, starting a land war. Just a precision surgeon going in and cutting out the tumor that we needed was just what we needed at that time.
The U.S. should do more to help the Palestinians.
2 to 4.
Things that Israel has done to Palestine and to Gaza in general have been, you know, it's pretty unspeakable. You know, I think that I saw the statistic that they've, you know, killed 2% of Gaza's population.
Interesting.
Now, I obviously don't think we should send weapons to Palestine at all. I just think that we should, you know, send aid, send food, you know, send medical
Cooper.
equipment to Palestine. I think that it would be, I think it would be really helpful for them, and I think it'd also be a really good look for the United States.
I want
you think Cooper's too woke?
Them, but I feel like we have such deep ties with Israel that either we have to support them or...
Someone in chat said he's an I show speed Republican. That's a new voting block. I'll not Cooper, not this guy. That's funny.
Not support anyone at all.
Do you think?
Honestly, though, yeah, sure. This is who fucking Chuck Schumer and Hakeem aren't getting. They're not getting the I show speed Republicans. They can flip them.
Should support Israel or not anyone at all?
I feel like they shouldn't be involved in that conflict whatsoever.
The bigger thing is we should get a ceasefire going. We should try to start new talks for, you know, a solution to this whole conflict, etc.
The U.S. should be more involved in helping Ukraine.
Okay, I do want to know, like, they open with all this foreign policy stuff. I don't want to watch too many hours or minutes of my life watching 20-year-olds debate foreign policy. I wanted to hear their thoughts on the economy. I guess we'll get there. It's not that long of a video.
Feel the need that we should be in any foreign wars. I just think that in this particular situation, you're trying to pursue peace. That's great, but when one side is not, you know, cooperating, then, you know, you're kind of left with no other choice.
My fundamental perspective on this is, again, context and history matters. It's very easy to say support one side and say Palestinian people we have to support. We have to support Ukrainians. But why is Russia attacking Ukraine? If we don't understand these regions and we try to malign one group, that poses a problem, because then that will lead to these groups that the U.S. is fundamentally antagonistic towards. They will not engage in negotiation.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
The Trump
He's interesting.
administration is being
Jothin.
transparent with the Epstein files.
I think maybe that he's covering up something.
Oof, that's a
Not
0 for
necessarily
6.
that President Trump is in the Epstein files, because I feel like if he was, that would have came out a long time ago to, destroy his campaign.
I want him to be at least some semblance of honest, or at least lie better, because this is just a disgrace, in my opinion, in just every way.
We're going to make America affordable again.
They
We're gonna
moved
get
on
those
so
prices
quickly.
down.
That's it. Talking about that for 2 seconds, bro. I had to hear them fucking explain the tactics to win the war in Ukraine for 5 minutes. I had to hear whether we should take the Donbass or not, and now I don't know the fucking Epstein file. That's like that stuff people know a lot about or have more of a strong opinion on. I guess they all agreed, so there's no debate.
Going to get them down quickly.
I feel optimistic about my economic future.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be okay.
Really?
I think it's going to be, I mean, obviously the housing bubble is pretty terrible. I don't think any of us are going to own a house.
I'm shocked by that.
But in terms of
I'm interested in hearing, though.
like what the government has control of, I feel like we're heading in the right
Really,
direction.
Moses?
I think one thing that I always like to look at is when my parents bought this house that I've always lived in 2001, the average household income was $30,000 less than it is now. But if you look at the home cost, it was actually $250,000.
Cooper's got ChatGPT open in a window. Reading fucking talking points while he's
$50,000 less than it is now. Obviously, Moses was saying that we got to wait for the house bubble to pop, but you look at that difference, and it's hard to be optimistic looking at your future.
I want to hear the rest of
Do
them.
you guys feel that anything Trump is doing is helping you work towards that goal or hurting you?
I know he mentioned something during his campaign about like housing interests.
So interest rates is probably what he's talking. Trump is
Interest rates, yes.
That's actually not done by Trump. That's the Federal Reserve, and that is based on a number of factors, including inflation.
Trump did appoint Jerome Powell to the position. I would say Trump's influence does impact a lot of departments, and that influence is what makes me hopeful that my economic future will be.
Wait, what? When was this recorded? Chathin supports Trump's economic decisions because he appointed Jerome Powell. He's trying to fire him every day. Wait, when was this actually recorded? Low key. 2 months ago? Was that before or after all this Trump Powell stuff happened? That's all, it's all blurred to me. I feel like that's crazy. Like, I don't blame if someone doesn't know what fucking interest rates are. I don't care. Like, this is a bubble of a chat. We're talking about interest rates, bro. I think most people don't give a fucking flying fuck. I don't care. But I think it's crazy to be like, yeah, I think I trust his economic decisions because he appointed Jerome Powell. I mean, he did, but he is constantly trying to fire him in this term.
Prosperous.
He calls him too late Jerome every
Who
day.
the president has some effect, and especially with specific things like the tariffs. But overall, the economy moves on its own. I don't think you can blame Trump or not blame Trump for anything that's happening yet.
We will stop wasteful spending and big government special interest giveaways and finally stand up for the American taxpayer, which hasn't happened since I was president. We stood up. We stood up.
Oh, this is like Doge stuff.
Elon Musk effectively cut down government waste.
It definitely helped us with awareness.
Really?
And knowing that there were some areas that we were kind of just...
Bro, Cooper, you are a mystery to me, bro. Cooper is pro-Doge, anti-Trump in the economy? I can't even follow where you thought that shit worked, but these guys are bouncing around. I don't even understand it.
Throwing money around.
Keep them guessing. You gotta keep them guessing, bro. You gotta keep them guessing. Hell, I respect it, bro. You never let them know your next move.
I mean, I think they should continue their efforts. I think Trump should do a better job at cutting down at the deficit. I know he's been trying, but you can argue that the bill recently passed didn't help that much at all.
They did do a lot of good things.
You could argue that. I would make that argument. I think you can make a strong argument. I actually don't think you can argue the other side very well, to be quite honest.
It just wasn't enough. It was just a drop in the bucket.
I think Elon Musk got rid of a lot, and there's probably more. But that's not a large portion of the budget.
Telematicus!
Doing stuff. And people are going to have arguments as to why we should have it, but you need to make the hard decisions and cut them, which nobody wants to do.
People just don't understand that the comfortable and cushy life that we live here in America, regardless of your status, whether you're poor, broke, or rich, we still live at a point of privilege where the government can take care of us. Yeah, but people don't understand that, and that's why no one wants to cut anything.
I think the big problem is politicians get elected on promising people things. They don't get elected on cutting things as much as...
Tell him, Atticus!
The Democratic
Wait,
system.
what? Okay, what? So why the fuck are you... Michael, why are you giving him credence and you're on this side of the fucking vote? You're like, yeah, good point. That's the only point. That's what happened.
On cutting things as much as
I don't
we
know.
want them to. So, the Democratic system.
I feel like Michael's saying the opposite of what he voted and then also agreeing with this.
And you money.
That's how you get votes, Atticus. That's how you get votes. You start giving money out. If you give money out, you pay somebody $100, they'll vote for you.
If the election were to happen today, knowing what I know now, I would change my vote. Jathan, not to call you out, because you disagreed with so many, not everything.
No
but many
vote
things
change.
He's done, but you're saying overall because.
The election was today, though. They're saying versus Harris.
They like, and also
tough to get these
like
people to vote for
everything.
Harris.
You're like, I'm glad I voted how I did.
Before I met my colleagues here, I would have definitely not voted for Trump. I would have stayed neutral and voted for an independent candidate. But I think after hearing my colleagues talk about why they support Trump and their reasons and their plans for America, I'm starting to feel a bit more confident about the silent majority, as I could call it, or the young adults who supported Trump. I still think he's trying his best, and I think he's doing much better job than what Kamala Harris would have done if she were to become president.
Yeah, it's still a Kamala thing,
It
though. I
is
can't.
totally and 1,000% okay to scrutinize the president, especially the president that you voted for, to scrutinize him and criticize him. And that's part of what makes America great, is that we can do that. I know we disagreed on this podcast, but I agree with you. We can still do better. He's not 100% perfect. I'm not saying that he's a perfect man. Trust me, he's not. But, I just want to say, listen, it's okay. We can criticize the president, and that's totally fine. We can change our
All right.
and it's by having conversations like these.
I so appreciate all of you guys.
Amen,
sharing your
brother.
thoughts, being really honest. I learned a ton.
Well, that was an interesting video. I would be better to watch at the time because I'm trying to remember what 2 months ago, what was in the news, what was going on.